Hello, hello.
Hi. Hello.
Don't drop your phone again.
I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah, sure.
Drop it.
You gonna bop it? Twist it?
Pull it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. That was a video of someone doing that. It was very funny.
Okay. But then he starts speaking, and I realize it's part of the show. For thousands of years, our empire has been in shambles. No, I jump, and I even feel Neferu tense up next to me as the white wolf practically screams.
He's so angry.
Right? Not because of war. Not because we chose different paths. No, this is because of Drusus and his flawed vision of the Galaxias as a whole. My brother was right about one thing. Adastra is the lowest of the low among the siblings, the laughingstock of the entire galaxy.
He's not supposed to reference his opponent.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
He's
Idiot.
doing his thing.
Oh, yeah. No references to Amicus, Cassius.
Kato barks from across the throne room, but the other wolf ignores him, swiping his paw through the air, his movements aggressive and violent. Enough of being the butt of jokes, of being spat upon, of being considered at the level of mere children. It is time for Adastra to once again be respected, revered, and feared, just like before Drusus. Cassius' speech goes on like that, describing Adastra in terms that make it sound like the worst place in the galaxy to be. I don't know if this is good or not. He's definitely being way more intense than Amicus was, and if that's the goal, then I'm worried. I glance over at Neferu and Virginia, and the troubled looks on their faces tell me I should be even more worried. I look up towards the throne, but Amicus is as still and straight-faced as ever. I feel myself start to sweat, wondering if this is the beginning of the end. My brother stated that the war was responsible for our sudden decline, a decline not so sudden when it's been happening for thousands of years. No, that reason was the best thing that could have ever happened in this empire. It showed that we were unafraid, unintimidated by the most powerful force in the galaxy. We were mocked and laughed at openly before the war. Now, those laughs are quieter, behind, dainty paws, as our siblings realize that, just how dangerous we can be. They take us seriously now. Cassius turns his angry gaze towards us. But not seriously enough. Look who they sent to propose this alliance that my brother spoke of.
No references to Amicus, Cassius.
But Kato is quieter now, as if he knows he can't stop the young wolf. Our camera light turns green, and once again, get the feeling that the broadcast is displaying Neferu. The one and only flower of Chemia, the Pharaoh's faggot son, with his oils and perfumes, stinking up the halls of our palace. I glance up at Neferu, and his expression has hardly changed, though I see a hint of a smirk on his lips. Meanwhile, Virginia is hiding a look of shock or horror, or both, behind her fan. This alliance is highly suspect, and I must wonder what is really going on during these negotiations. Actually, let me give you an idea. Cassius makes a sort of signal with his paw, then pauses. Everything is silent for a moment, and looking at the cameras, none of them are green. I look around at the others, and can tell that they're confused as well.
What are you broadcasting, Cassius? Oh, shit.
Cassius doesn't even turn around to acknowledge Kato. Just showing a small video clip.
What a little bitch. Of what?
I see Amicus bristling next to Kato, and I feel the hair stand up on my own neck. Of a traitorous act between my brother and the flower jackal.
What?
Amicus is so puffed out that he looks almost twice his natural size.
What are you doing? Yes, Cassius, what are you doing? Kato, he bugged my room.
Amicus starts to move, but Kato reaches out from his throne to hold him back. Stay there, brother. It's almost over. And don't worry, it's censored. Cassius sneers, back at Amicus before the red light on the drone suddenly turns green again. Cassius stares at the lens for a moment, letting the silence drag out for dramatic effect.
Isn't there like... Well, I guess he had to go in and do it, because like... He had like... Because Com can't like do this.
Yeah, it was when he just like, when they went back to the room and he was just there.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
He's fun. Shocking, is it not? I already described the flower of Chemia, and do we also want the flower of Adastra to be our emperor?
Time, Cassius.
Kato's voice is soft, sounding almost astonished. Amicus clearly having a much harder time keeping his emotions in check now. Even from a distance, I can see him working his jaw. But Cassius doesn't seem to be finished. And let me leave you with this.
Time, Cassius. Yield the floor.
No, I will not yield. Adastra is the one out of time. This empire is stretched thin, and the Tail Razor proposes that we stretch even further. When do we break? Cassius whirls around and points a finger at Amicus.
He broke all the rules.
He looks towards the children and the siblings, while completely ignoring us. Cassius' bristled fur slowly starts to lay down again, the wolf making a show of trying to get himself under control again. So, let me leave you with this. While campaigning in the outskirts of Adastra City, areas my brother completely neglected, I came across a young child with the same disease that afflicts me. Cassius' voice becomes much quieter, gentle, lowering his muzzle a bit to the floor. None like me. She had no medication to speak of because her poor farming family could not afford it. She was bound to a wheelchair, her bones so frail that something as simple as a bath could turn them, cause them to dislocate and break. Cassius' voice catches, and to my surprise, I see a tear slide down his cheek. How dare this empire let our people fall into such a state that we cannot even care for our own people? I'm hearing that even now. We can't afford to vaccinate those beyond our glittering city.
Also, Cassius isn't an anti-vaxxer.
No, yeah.
That's pretty
He's actually
cool.
like...
He's pro-vax.
Yeah.
Look at him. Wow.
Cassius looks back at the camera. It may seem as if we cannot hear you past the walls of this palace, but I hear you. I promise to always hear you. I will not cater to the needs and wants of the siblings or children, to the Adastra City elite or officials. Cassius sweeps a paw dramatically to his chest. Not to the stars, but to you, the people of the Empire. Thank you. Cassius bows low to the camera, before turning to walk back to the throne.
I guess this might... I guess he was like mad about the whole like rumor thing about him wanting to dissolve the triumvirate, huh?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit
bit.
About that.
There's a long moment of silence as we all just stare at the white wolf, and then Calm's voice crackles over our heads. A triumvirate, make your decision. Suddenly, I feel something grasp me around my wrist and look down to see Nephidu's furry black paw holding onto me.
Marco, very quietly, we are going to get up and head to my room. We'll move around the back so the cameras do not see.
Why?
Because what Amicus had feared is about to.
The triumvirates have made their decisions. I see Nephidu's eyes widen in surprise.
Already?
He seems to say it to himself, but he stands and I have to stand with him as he starts to walk up the aisle toward the back of the room, pulling me aside with him. I look back at Amicus and see the wolf looking right back at me, finally. His eyes are full of worry and regret, but I can tell that everyone knows that Cassius has won. My
What has
stomach
he?
drops. No. And I realize that what I've been terrified of happening all month is actually happening. We've lost. I can only stare at Nephidu's muscular arm as it pulls me towards the door, toward an unknown and unwanted future. Lupus. After all this time, after everything we've done, we've lost. Amicus. Nephidu pauses. I look up at the ceiling toward where I was always imagined Calm to be if he were real, and then I look back at the throne. Ad rote. I hope that's right. I don't know.
That seems about right.
Amicus. Amicus looks just as shocked as I am. Cassius, meanwhile, has his jaw set grimly. As always, I can't read Kato. Lux. Amicus. Gabi. Gabai?
I think it's
Gabi.
Gebby.
Gabi. Amicus.
Oh my god.
Oh, what the hell is going on? It just seemed like everyone thought Cassius was going to win, and if it was all based on performance, then he should be winning. Tricelli. Amicus.
But see, it's the triumvirates voting, and they're all like, well, if he wins, he's gonna dissolve us. So let's not let him win. Oops.
Cowards. There's a pause, one that has me realizing that we just won. Did we really just win? Adastra. Kato is staring straight ahead with his visor, and now I can see his paws gripping into the armrests of the throne. The silence goes on, so long that Calm asks again, Adastra? Kato lets the silence continue for several more seconds before finally opening his muzzle.
Cassius.
I don't know what to think, but Calm immediately responds. The trial has been decided. Amicus is the victor. The silence that follows this time is deafening. No one cheers, no one moves. Even Virginia's fanning is frozen, as if we're all stuck in a picture. All the while, the cameras continue to hover over our heads, each one of them flashing green for a moment. Finally, Calm is again the one to break the silence. This concludes the second trial. Thank you. With that, the camera lights turn off completely, and the drone hover up towards the compartments in the ceiling. The lights turn back on. As they do, Nephidu is once again pulling me towards the door. I want to hold back and watch, but the jackal is insisting, and the next thing I know, the doors are quietly sliding open, and we're walking into the equally silent, though much less tense, atmosphere of the marble halls. Where are we going? We just won! As I say that, I feel the excitement finally replaced with shock. We won! I'll turn down the TV a bit.
Loud-ass birds.
Birds are loud.
It's true.
Fuck you!
I mean...
Nephidu, we what?
Clearly, but that does not mean you are safe yet.
What? Nephidu is quiet for a moment, at this point the jackal having let go of my hand, allowing me to just follow behind him. What even happened?
Who do you think should have won, Marco?
I frown. Does that matter? The triumvirates decided. Amicus won.
True, but not just the triumvirates were watching. We all know who should have won.
I feel myself getting defensive. Cassius was being a total asshole, and besides, he cheated. He went over his allotted time and referenced Amicus and his points. Nephidu laughs mirthlessly.
The rules do not matter. I'm sure you've probably realized that by now. Cassius did exactly what he should have, but he lost because of you.
What?
The triumvirates clearly made their decisions long before the trial. We were hoping that they would not go against the will of the people, but Cassius's performance forced them to.
You're talking about the rumor about Cassius getting rid of them.
That would be the one. I had thought that such a clearly lopsided win on Cassius's part would have deterred at least most of them. Their hunger for power is insatiable, it seems.
Again, I feel myself getting defensive, but there's also a sense of worry creeping in. Well, I don't know. I think Amicus did great. Besides, it's their role to keep the Emperor's power in check anyway, isn't it?
Yes, but that's not the point of the trials, and the people know that. Adastra will not be happy about this.
Well, what does that mean, then? We come to a stop in front of Amicus's room, and finally the jackal turns to face me.
That I cannot tell you. I am not an expert on the politics of Adastra. I am simply a student here. Amicus may have won this battle, but I can guarantee that the power struggle is far from over. Amicus can explain more to you when he arrives. For now, wait for him in his room.
The jackal starts to turn to leave, but seems to notice the confusion and probably worried look on my face. He pauses, then sets a paw on my shoulder.
Do not fret too much over this. It is par for the course in Wolven politics. That much I know. Drama is their identity, and we can only be along for the ride.
Nephthys smiles at me.
Amicus will keep you safe, and if there's a need you have that he cannot fulfill, I am also here.
What kind of need? I know Nephthys intends to do that, to sound salacious.
Salacious. Salacios.
Slakios.
There you go.
Yes.
Gotta hit all of them consonants.
Right? But I also think he means it in a nice way. I put my hand over his paw. Thanks. The jackal nods at me before turning away to walk up the hall, probably towards his own room. Once he's out of sight, I press my hand to the panel and walk into Amicus's room, sitting on the sofa to wait. It's strange. Amicus won, but it doesn't exactly feel that way after what Nephthys just told me. Amicus didn't genuinely win. He'd won because of a rumor, basically making the entire trial thing pointless. Still, I can't exactly feel bad about that. Cassius bugged this very room to show footage of Amicus fucking Nephthys. I close my eyes, rubbing them with a hand as I realize how much that might have damaged Amicus's reputation. Not only do the people realize the trial was decided from the beginning by corrupted triumvirates, but also that their soon-to-be emperor had sex with a male, a Chemian male at that. But again, Cassius losing because of his intentions to get rid of one of the few checks on his power seems like karma to me. Weren't they keeping the emperor's power in check by making the decision that they did? Technically, Amicus will become emperor now, though I guess it won't be official until Cassius actually concedes to the third trial. I turn these thoughts over and over in my head for the next 20 minutes, a bit annoyed by the fact that even though I got exactly what I wanted, several issues had come with it. Suddenly the door slides open, and I forgot my worry for just a moment as I see Amicus standing there. He only gets a few steps into the room before I'm already there, wrapping my arms around his body as I hug him.
Whoa. Hey, Marco. Everything all right?
The wolf sets a heavy paw on my head, rubbing the pads gently against my scalp. Are you?
Of course.
Amicus smiles down at me warmly, but having known him this long, I know that's not exactly true. Well, we won.
We did.
He's quiet for a bit, continuing to rub his head. This isn't really how I imagined it would go. Amicus laughs softly.
Neither did I, but we did win, and that's the important part.
Amicus hugs me tightly again. Is what Cassius did, what he showed, how bad was that? Amicus grimaces.
Bad, but I'll find a way to get through that. Seems my first job as emperor will be rebuilding my image.
When do you become emperor?
As soon as Cassius gives up. I don't think he's in the mood to do that quite yet, though.
We stand there for a while, Amicus continuing to stroke my head as I lean in against his chest, listening to the soft beat of his heart. I'm just glad it's over.
I feel the same.
So, what's next?
Well, for now I must go to the city. The Triumvirates requested the Imperial family to be seen at once.
Oh, why?
Well, everyone assumes the trial's to be over. They'd like to discuss things with the family before they leave Adastra for their own cities.
I see.
They also requested that you go.
I lean back to look up at the wolf. Really?
Yes, though I told them not to expect it. I know you wanted to see the city, but it's up to you. Well, it won't be the actual city, just the district where the delegates live. Things are a bit chaotic in the city center at the moment.
Chaotic?
The citizens are excited after the trial.
I imagine excited means angry. I could, but doing official stuff seems kind of scary.
You wouldn't have to do anything, just look happy to be there, but it's up to you.
Would it help you?
Possibly. I would certainly be happy to have you there.
Then sure. The wolf's eyebrows go up in surprise.
Oh, really? Well, alright then. Let's go.
Now?
Yes, I believe the others are already in the chariot. Are you ready?
I think so, unless I need to bring anything.
Not at all. And sorry, I know things are moving fast at the moment. It's to be expected after the trial, but we can talk in private when we get back, alright?
Okay. Amicus is already turning to pull me along, but I stop him. When he turns, I do what I wanted to do since right before the trial started, and I kiss him on the lips.
Well, alright then.
Okay. We'll end the part here, I think.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty...
Was that fun?
That was fun. Kind of went the way I thought it was going to go, actually.
You don't think Cassius deserved the win?
Well, I mean, I knew he... Deserved is not the question here. I just kind of knew that he wasn't gonna. For multiple reasons. I mean, if he won, the game would be over already. And two...
You don't think Cassius becoming
politics.
emperor automatically means that they lost? What if Cassius is a nice guy and was like, oh, okay, let's...
Well, but that's not the point. He's not the main love interest.
Helps out Amicus and Marco, you know? Wouldn't that... You don't
Because
think that
he
would
wouldn't.
You don't know that.
I do. He threatened to murder Marco.
I threaten to murder people all the time.
It's true, but you are an emperor, so you don't really have that kind of authority.
I still have a knife.
It's true, but you would get in trouble for it.
Yes, that's what they say.
No, it's...
The jury's out on that one if I would get in trouble for murder.
Well, no. Okay. If
it
they,
hasn't happened, thus that hasn't been proven that it will happen.
If they caught you, if they knew that you did it...
Time to murder all the witnesses.
Oh, there you go. But what if there are witnesses to those witnesses?
Guess what? We keep going.
No.
We
witnesses.
keep going.
But we also have forensic science now that can like place you there and tell you what you ate for breakfast that day.
Time to kill every single forensic scientist on the planet.
No, so you have to do that first. You have to lay the groundwork by killing all the forensic scientists and then kill who you want to actually kill.
Yeah, there we go.
And then kill all the witnesses that watch you kill who you actually kill.
Yep.
There you go.
That's how we got there, guys.
Oh my god.
That's how we're going to get there. We'll see you around, everyone.